Hello, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video, we are talking about saving as a software engineer. I am going to go through and show you all of the categories that I have on my spreadsheet that I use to spin with. And I'm just going to cover the savings stuff. If you're interested in the other stuff, like this video, leave a comment down below, tap in, let me know you're interested, and I'll get that video out to you. I have a rollover IRA that I opened up through Fidelity several years ago. I had a 401k through another job and I was leaving that job. So I just rolled it over into a IRA, and I chose Fidelity at the time because I was like, hey, I knew about Fidelity. They've been around for a while. Why not? I did not start investing my money. So I would set my money over there, but I did not start investing my money until a few years ago. So that's my bad, but either way, I've been putting money over there for several years now. So the total amount in a month, this is on a monthly basis that I put savings over there, is $200. On my spreadsheet, you'll see I have $200 a month in this category. However, 100 of that gets sent over to Fidelity. The other $100 stays in my savings account. And the only reason I keep $100 in my savings account is if I happen to see that, because every so often this will happen to where I'm like, oh, I need just like another $40. I need another $50. I overspent just a little bit more on my budget than I should have. Now, I don't recommend doing this. I don't recommend going in with the mentality that you're going to overspend. Don't do that. Absolutely not. But if it happens, this is the category, or this is the account that I use. This is part of the money that I use, I should say, to kind of account for like the overage of things, just to kind of help me out. But I try not to do that all the time. It's not a habit. So $100 goes to my Fidelity account. In that account, I also invest in a few stocks. Nothing crazy, just like VOO, that sort of stuff. I try to keep it basic with index funds. I'm not doing all this extra stuff. Absolutely not. Second category is I have an imaginary friend. No, you don't, Tiffany. Don't tell them your secrets. I have an emergency fund. So this emergency fund, as you can see, there's nothing on this amount paid column. That's because I have been slacking heavily on my emergency fund ever since I have moved. So it was easier to save for the emergency fund when I lived with my parents. If you have not seen this video about how I was talking about how I'm moving with my parents, I have linked it above. But yes, it's a little bit more difficult to save now in that category, just because I more or less have the money in there that I need. What I end up doing is I don't touch that money. So the emergency fund account is in a high yield savings account, and I keep it in there. It stays in there. It's hanging out in case it's needed. The only time I've touched that money within the last 3 months or so was because I had put money over there also for my taxes, and then I ended up not owing taxes this year. So all I did was pay for filing my taxes out of that account, and then everything else has just been hanging out, chilling. It does gain me a little bit of interest. It's not too much interest, but it's there for peace of mind in case I need it. Next one is the home fund. So the home fund is because I was going to buy a house about 3 or 4 years ago. I got into the process of wanting to buy a home, wanting to own a home. And I was going to do that. So I figured out during that process, I needed a little bit more money than I had in my pocket. So I ended up saving more money. And now, since the process of living at home the last few years, I was able to save up way more money than I would have ever had to if I would have lived on my own. So I ended up saving a bunch of money there. So since moving out, of my parents' house, I now still adamantly put money in this category because it is still a big goal of mine. And then I also didn't have to, but I chose to use some money in there for when I did move out my parents' house. And then, so it's fine. I use that as kind of like needing stuff for the house. And then if I don't need something for the house, then it's like, okay, do I really need it? So that's how I kind of, figure that kind of mentality out, or differentiate that basically, is I'm just like, do I need this? And if the answer is I don't need it, then I'm not going to buy it. So for now, I put $500 in that account every month. Nothing crazy. It's nice to continue to save money, but I'm not going to lie. At this point, I am putting back the money that I have taken out of that account in January, because I moved in January. So not into my own home. I'm renting in the area in which I would like to own a home in. With that being said, I put money over there every month, and it does its thing, and I keep it moving. And I try not to take from that account unless it's absolutely necessary, which most times it's not necessary at all. So until then, it is just like a glorified, this is my down payment for a house in the future fund, and that's how it will stay. The next area is M1 Finance. So long time ago, I opened up an investment account with M1 Finance. I feel like this is when everybody on YouTube was talking about M1 Finance. Probably, yes. But I opened up the investment account. Fun fact about the M1 Finance account, this used to serve as my emergency fund before I had an emergency fund. So if anybody has ever seen my laid off video from back in the day, about 2020 is when that happened. That account is what I was using for some of my expenses for living. So ever since I got into buying a home, and, probably the last few years or so, I would say, I developed an emergency fund. So now this M1 Finance account is strictly just for me to invest in different stocks. I keep mostly like oil stocks, real estate stocks, that sort of thing. And then I used to keep a lot of individual stocks. Now I've gotten rid of most of my individual stocks. I do keep the ones that I've already mentioned, but I now couple those with index funds, and I have been seeing a greater return on those than I have with the individual stocks that I have. But the individual stocks that I've kept, I will say, those have been seeing returns. But if there were individual stocks that I did not see good returns on, I'd let those go a while ago. But anyways, M1 Finance, I invest a total of $105 a month in that account. Now, again, this is kind of like a drifting account for me. I kind of do use it as like an extra thing. So for instance, in February, or was it March? It was March, when I needed to get some extra work done on my car, and I know I did not have an auto fund, and I kicked myself in the foot because I wanted to make one and I never did. And so I used that M1 Finance account to sell some stocks and pay for that repair that I needed. It was about $600-700. So it wasn't too bad, but still, it was nice to have somewhere else to reach to besides my emergency fund to get that money from. So that's cool. Of the $105, every other week I put $15 into the account, and then I put $75 into the account every month. Now you may be thinking, Tiffany, you can do better. Well, could I? I don't know. Personal finance, it's my finance. So with the expenses that I have to take care of, this is what I can do for that specific account. So I keep it as is, but I have increased it since I started investing in that account. So I did increase it with the extra $30 a month. And I did that some years ago. So it would be nice to increase it, but I also don't want to, be stifled in other areas on my spreadsheet that I have to do and just in life that I have to pay for. Next category. So you may see that it says property taxes here, and you're like, hold on, Tiffany, you just said you don't own a home, but wait, there's more. So my parents own their home, and I have about I'd say a few years ago, I started helping them out with their property taxes. And then I brought my siblings in to help me even further to help with their property taxes. They own their own home. They paid for it a while ago. So all they have to do is pay for property taxes at this point. And they have gotten older. And so, they don't work like they used to. At least my dad doesn't. And then my mom, she also works, but she doesn't work. Like she doesn't have a job like me that pays as much money as I have. So I choose, and we choose as siblings, to help them with their property taxes. I also recently just helped them file a protest for their property taxes. I do that every year for them now. I think they were doing it before, maybe here and there, but I started adding like pictures and things like that. And we were very fortunate to have been able to like decrease the market value. And I know people are like, why would you want to decrease the market value? When it's too high, that's when, like, because especially with living at the house, like, and I've lived with them before. Obviously, they're my parents, but I've lived with them before, and I'm like, dude, this house is not worth what they're talking about. I know. I live here. So I was able to do that. So the amount per month that we aim for is $180 in that account. And I put all of their taxes into a separate a high yield savings account, so I don't have to mix it up with my stuff, because I've done that before and that gets very confusing. So what I end up doing there is $180. Now you will see that this month it's a little bit more extra money in there. That kind of just depends on my siblings and I. If I give the whole 180 and then more siblings come in and put more money, or if I put 100 in and then more siblings come in and give me more money, then that amount can fluctuate. But the goal and what it has been is $180. So this is just a unique month where I happen to have a little extra in that account, which is good. We want extra. When I looked, everything is on track for that, for their taxes at the end of the year. So hopefully, nothing crazy happens and we're good. Next category. So I have it says 401k, and I have it at 6%. And this is 6% of the money that I take home. So let me explain. My current job, they do not have a 401k. So I have decided to use a IRA account, a rollover IRA account that I got from my last job when I got laid off. So my last job, I didn't need my 401k money, thank the Lord. So I went ahead and put it into a rollover IRA over at Vanguard. And I wanted to try Vanguard this time because I was like, you know what? Let me switch it up. Let me see what Vanguard has to offer. So far, I've been loving it over there. And I've been seeing pretty good returns. I have it on their robo investing thing. So if you've never tried that and you want to give it a try, I would go over there, do some research for yourself and figure out, hey, is this something I'm interested in? And something I wanted to try. So I decided to try it for a little bit, and I've just kept it because every time I go back, I'm like, okay, this is not bad. So because of that, I put about $400 into that account every month. So every time I get paid, I put $200 over there. It's not as much as I wanted to be. Ideally, I would want $250 or $300 per paycheck in that account, but I haven't reached that status yet. So $400 is what I've been able to consistently put over there a month, and I have been seeing returns off of those, and I've been pretty good with it. So, and this is turned into like my main retirement account so far. This account is like, hey, Tiffany, it's time to retire. What are you going to live off of? This money. So I want to get more adamant about it. And I really, really wish that I had started saving a long time ago. And I'll probably make a video over that. But anyways, I still have to say $400 a month. That's what goes into the account. Final category is miscellaneous fund. And it tells you to look at the matrix on the left. Well, we're not going to go over on the left because there's really nothing there. So this miscellaneous fund what I use this for is for extra stuff. So I found that I'm like, you know what? I do want to go, maybe treat myself to a dinner or a trip or something. I don't have any extra money just lying around to do so. That money would have to come from somewhere. So it's like, let's start putting money back for doing like the things that are miscellaneous. Currently, the miscellaneous fund has birthday adventures in it. Not for my birthday. Nuh-uh-uh. No, for everybody else's birthday. So in my family, I have siblings. They have children, okay? I've got parents. I have my sister-in-law, her mother is here now. So everybody has a birthday. And lucky for me, being very sarcastic here, everybody's birthday is June, July, August. It's just like and September. It's all together. It's just like a runoff of birthdays. Okay. It just starts and then it doesn't end until the summer ends. It's craziness. The summer babies like to go outside and do their summer baby thing. So I'm like, I have to have money over there in order to go outside with the summer people. And that doesn't even include my friends. Like my friends want to go outside too. So I'm like, listen, okay, I need to put some extra money over there just for miscellaneous stuff that comes up, specifically for birthdays and birthday presents. Like if you want a gift, I gotta put some money back. It doesn't just come up out of nowhere. That's not how that works. So with that being said, that is all of my categories. That's how I save my money. They do fluctuate. As the miscellaneous part fluctuates every month. Sometimes I don't put money over there. Sometimes I do put money over there. Kind of just depends. For the most part, this is how it goes. For everything else, that's the only category that fluctuates. So that's it. That is how I save my money as a software engineer. Hopefully, now you have some more insight. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment below. If you like this video and you stuck around, thank you so much for sticking around. Put a money emoji in the comments if you're still here. Also, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like. Let me know as well so I can make more content like this for you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. Take care of yourself and be kind to others. And I will see you in the next video.